If you don't want to be on the roller coaster of success, going up, having a good month, going down, crashing and burning, freaking out, not knowing what to do, not knowing where the next paycheck's going to come from, and then going back up and be on this emotional roller coaster, you're going to constantly have to be improving yourself. So by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to be scaling up every single month, 5%, 10%, 20%. You're going to be just getting better every single day. The goal is to constantly be in self-improvement, to be in success. Let's go. Okay, listen up. No, literally, listen up. The problem is most of you guys don't listen. Look, I have a problem of talking too much. I'm sure you probably could imagine, but one of the things that I'm most proud of is I've mastered active listening with my clients. When you're actively listening to somebody, imagine what kind of look you have on your face. Like, are you really listening, or are you just waiting for them to finish? Do you look like you're ready to kind of nudge them to finishing their sentence? Are you one of the salespeople that actually finishes the sentence for the client? So they don't even feel like you're listening. They don't feel like you're present. One of the number one things that you can do in sales is just be present with your client. It's the same way with your family, guys. If you want to be the best leader, if you want to be the best dad or best mom, one of the key things that you can do is just be present in that conversation. When you're present with somebody in that conversation and you're not looking behind them on like, hey, what's going on outside? What's this? What's that? Like eye contact, okay? Be present. Use a couple of these questions that are going to get them to talk about themselves. Number one question, can you walk me through some of your challenges, some of your goals that you have with us? Great question, guys. Now, when they say it and they start talking, your goal is to grab a couple of things and put them in the cookie jar. Grab a couple of the problems that they say, so then that way you can reuse them. Now, you're going to also be writing some of them down, so that way it shows that you're listening to them. All people want to do is be heard, be seen, be felt. Like, they got to be heard, okay? So make sure you're doing that. Hey guys, it's the Macklin Twins. Let's go. You can join our free training where you're going to see thousands of 1%ers just like you in our community, training on personal development, sales, mindset, and greatness. Yes. Join us. It's free. Click the link in the description. Elliott Training Academy. We'll see you on the inside. Let's go, baby. Click the link. Number two question. Hey, what's worked well with you in the past? What would you like to improve? What are the things that you don't want or don't need? Guys, are those good questions? Yes. Think about it for a second. What would they like to see improve? What are the things that they don't want? What are the things they don't need? Listen, when I was selling cars, I could say, hey, listen, Mr. Customer, tell me about the last experience you had at the last dealership. What were some of the things that you didn't like? Oh. They just told me everything that I need to know to be able to sell them, and also the things that I need to know that I don't want to use. They might say, well, I had a freaking manager come out and he came and talked to me right away. Oh shit, my manager's getting ready to come talk to him on an early TO. That's what we call a turn in the car business. I'm going to go tell him, hey, get back behind the desk. Don't do that. Right? Like, I'm going to tailor my presentation to them. It's important to get these questions said at the beginning of the sale so that way you know. If I say, Mr. Customer, real quick, can you tell me the features that you had on your current car that you don't want on the next one? Guys, those are things that you can improve, and also the things that they don't want. Like, you need to know these things so you're not out there sounding like an idiot. I had probably one of the most lovable guys that I ever worked with for several years, but he couldn't sell anything. He was the world's worst salesperson, but he was so lovable. He was so kind, but he was one of those guys who read every book. He knew everything about the car. He knew everything, where the tires were made, all this dumb shit, but he couldn't read people's face. And he would talk way past the close. And he would give out all this information that didn't matter specifically to the client. And then I could come in like a Navy SEAL. I could come in, instead of machine gun spraying, I could be like a sniper and just say one sentence, one word that would hit them right in the heart. Okay, don't be like that. Now, he was a freaking good guy, but nobody wanted to buy from him because he just blah, 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 blah. He didn't use his freaking ears. He had two big ass ears. I wish he would have just used them. Okay, use your big ears for something. God gave you 2 ears and a mouth for a reason. We've heard it, but most of you don't listen, and the client's literally telling you how they want to buy and how they don't want to be sold or how they want to be sold. Pay attention. Number 3 question that you can ask in active listening: what would the ideal outcome or solution be for you? What's your biggest frustration that you've had in buying other coaching products? What's your biggest frustration you've had in other fitness programs? What's your ideal solution for your perfect body? Like, guys, they're going to tell you, here's exactly what I want to do. Okay, that gap from where they're at now to where they want to go, that's what you're selling. You're not selling any of the other bullshit that you want to sell. You're selling the stuff that they're talking about right there, and you're figuring out how what you sell matches the gap that they're talking about. So when they say, well, Evan, if I'm selling fitness coaching and I ask them that question, they're like, I want a nicer butt. I want a nicer butt. I want nicer legs. I want this. I'm like, okay, I'm figuring out where they're at right now. I'm bringing it up. I'm talking to them about it. I'm figuring out what they currently do, and then how are they going to get there? And then my whole pitch isn't like, hey, look, you want bigger arms, don't you? You want bigger freaking biceps. You want this. No, I'm selling what their outcome is, okay? So make sure when you're active listening, then you're prescribing the solution based off of what you heard and what you wrote down. If you're the salesperson that doesn't write anything down when somebody's talking, you're not actively listening. Think about it like this. You ever been to a restaurant, you go to give the waiter the order, and she doesn't write anything down? You're like, I think you should write this down. Has anybody ever been there? I'm like, you should be writing this down. She's like, no, I got you. It always comes back wrong when they do that. Always. For some reason, they had some ego that they could memorize it or something, or I have no idea. Maybe they're just not smart, okay? Write it down so then you can bring up the problem again. I'm gonna be real with you. Prospects, when they're getting ready to buy at the end of the sale, for some reason or another, they forget about what their problem is. But if you did a good job listening, you can say, Linda, honey, listen, you told me X, Y, and Z was what you wanted to do. You told me that this was the biggest frustration that you had going on in your life. And if we were able to fix it, it would make you another $1,000 a day. It would make your team another $10,000 a day. You told me that if we were able to solve your problem with you getting the best body, that you would be more happier, you and your husband would be more on fire. Remember how you told me that? Remember how you told me that you guys are kind of going through a little dead spot in your marriage? There's no energy, there's no passion. Well, getting back to the top-notch version of yourself, the best version, getting you back in congruency with who you want to become, getting you back in progress and you lifting and getting that bigger butt, I think that would help, right? Cool. So let's go on ahead and do it, right? But you don't get there and you can't do that if you're not listening. Next tip, you constantly have to be investing in yourself. I want you right now to slow down for a second, down your paper. I want you to draw a little T-chart, and I want you to put education on one side and I want you to put entertainment on the other. So down the middle of the paper, education versus entertainment. And after this video, or even right now, pause the video and write down the thing that you spent money on to educate yourself, whether that be sales books, audio books, our coaching program, our elite training academy, which is $299, and it'll teach you everything that you need to know to influence, persuade, have a fire mindset, get that better life. It's sick. Write those down. And then on the other side, on your entertainment budget, why don't you write down like what you've been spending your money on? Netflix, Saturdays at the bar with the boys. Like, what kind of stuff have you been blowing your money on? The best salespeople in the world, they're obsessed. It's not something that they just did. It's something that they do. They don't just go out and somehow become great at sales. No, they're constantly focused on the obsession, the details of sales. If you're not obsessed with that and you're just tuning into a YouTube video here and there, great, I love that you're following us. But if you're not actually taking your money out, where your money goes, your energy flows. Where your money goes, your energy flows. I wish I would have known this a lot younger. If you're spending money on yourself, you're going to start to develop a new identity that you deserve to be one of the best salespeople in the world. If you're going home and watching Netflix every day and not doing anything to grow your sales skill, or if you haven't read a sales book in the last quarter or the last month, you're crazy and you can't compete with guys like me because I've read multiple. I read a different book every 2 weeks. Okay, how obsessed are you? Do you really want the big life, or are you just talking about it? Are you just, we know all the people, you guys know them, you see all these people talk about a big life, and then you actually go look at their day-to-day, or you look at their routine, and you're like, you don't want anything. All you want is the same old shit you've been getting. Reprogram that computer in your mind. Reprogram it. Some of you guys are much like me, where nobody taught you that you needed to invest in yourself. You are your best investment. It's not real estate. It's not anything. Newsflash. It's you. You can't even make those big decisions if you haven't grown and matured up in your mind, in your language, in your thoughts. Okay? So the easiest way to do that is books, is a coaching program. Okay? Start to leverage your money to make you more money. If it just sits in your bank account not doing anything, it's not going to do anything. In order to make more money, you're going to have new information and new knowledge. Number 3 is your practice and your role play. Oh my goodness, practice and role play, especially live with a partner, is the easiest way to grow and the easiest way to grow fast and to steadily be improving all the time. You guys got to understand that you all sometimes when you're selling, you don't realize how you sound, or you don't realize under pressure maybe how good or bad you are. Sometimes when I'm under pressure, I'm like, man, I buried that thing. Like, I'm really proud of myself. You know, so it's like, and then that gives me more confidence. Role play will give you that confidence. You got to do it in front of other people. Are you guys public speakers? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Whether you speak to one person or 5,000, if you're in sales, your words matter. So you got to learn to speak in front of other people and not get worried and not get nervous, not get triggered. So speak in front of other people. That live role play, practice your closing, practice your objection handling, practice your meet and greet. That will give you better confidence. That will lead to increased sales. Thanks for watching the video. Go back and really focus on a couple of the areas that you know maybe you're lacking and go take action on them fast. The person who wins the most takes the fastest action. So go win, go get better. Let's kill it. I'll see you on the next video. All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it. And also turn your notifications on because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.